What's up, smart homers? My name's Aaron, and in this video I want to do something a little bit different. Instead of focusing on a particular product or a project, I want to talk to you about a specific smart home brand that I think doesn't get the attention and credit that it deserves. I'm going to talk to you about who they are, and then I'll show you some of the products that they've sent me in the past. As always, I'll leave links to all the products I'm looking at in the description of the video. I like to call ThirdReality friends of Home Assistant, and I hope you'll understand in a couple minutes. At the time of recording, they are one of only 8 companies in the Works with Home Assistant partner program. Now, this video is not sponsored by ThirdReality at all, but I don't think they get a lot of coverage, and I wanted to try a new style of video. Their goal seems to be to make products that work with all of the major smart home platforms, and including Amazon Echoes with the Zigbee radio inside. They've been focused on Zigbee devices historically, but now that the Matter standard has been rolled out, they've been focused on bringing Matter devices to the major platforms, and recently released a Matter over Wi-Fi Nightlight, which I'll show you later on in the video. When I went to CES at the beginning of the year, ThirdReality's booth was one of the few sporting the Home Assistant logo, letting people know that they work with Home Assistant. Having discussions with them, it was really refreshing to see a company that's open to new ideas. The first product I ever tried from them was actually before I had Home Assistant. I had an Echo Flex in our bathroom, and I found their Nightlight that they made for it. It pops into the bottom of the Flex via USB and works as a discovered device in the Alexa app. They also make a little smart clock and motion sensor for the Flex, but I have yet to try those, and unfortunately the Flex isn't sold anymore, which to me is a real bummer because I do love the Echo Flex. The next device I tried from them was actually in one of my first ever comparison videos way back in the day, and that was when I compared different contact sensors. The ThirdReality door and window contact sensor is a bit larger than many of the others I reviewed, and I initially gave this thing a mediocre review, but it turned out to be one of my most used sensors. It had one of the best sensing distances between the sensor and the magnet of all the contact sensors I tested, making it very useful in different applications. And I actually used it on our baby gate at the top of our steps for a few years, and it was super reliable. It runs on 2 AAA batteries, giving it an extremely long battery life. And believe it or not, batteries in this thing now are the original batteries. That is insane. Since I like their contact sensor so much, I had to pick up their motion sensor for my motion sensor comparison. It has a very unique style compared to the rest of the ones I tested, because while many of them were going for an obvious this is a motion sensor look, this one went with a slim, inconspicuous design that hides in plain sight. This sensor was very well received by you guys, and is actually one of the most purchased sensors of all the ones that I reviewed. Of course, this thing is powered by 2 AAA batteries, which is probably how they got the form factor they have. Next, we have their leak sensor, which I also covered in the leak sensor comparison video. And it's probably the most unique of all the sensors because of the water droplet shape that it has. You can see the perforated holes at the top, and that's because it has a super loud 120 decibel alarm, so you just set it on the floor wherever you suspect a leak may occur, and it'll detect it. On the underside, you can see the metal parts set in from the actual flush surface on the bottom. And if the water raises up enough to touch both of those metal parts, there's conductivity between the 2 metal pieces, and it sounds the alarm. Their smart button is another unique device, but when I went to release my smart button comparison video, that smart button wasn't available. It actually looks pretty similar to the motion sensor in shape. It's long and thin, allowing for, you guessed it, 2 AAA batteries to power it. It has classic single press, double press, and long press for triggering automations. The battery life is pretty great with this one, and you can hide it pretty easily on your end table or other area of your house. The next one is their temperature sensor, yet another device powered by 2 AAA batteries. This one has been going strong for over a year, which is pretty awesome, beating out my SwitchBot Meter Plus temperature sensors, which I have all around the house. It's really simple, just giving you temperature, humidity, and battery sensors, and it has a little button on the side that changes the temperature units from Freedom units to Celsius. Yes, I said Freedom units, it's a joke. Unfortunately, this one also came out after my temperature sensor comparison video, but I've been enjoying using it for the last year or so. Next are their smart blackout shades, which I did an entire video on, and I absolutely love them. They have a really modern look, but they did something daring, which was to put the motor of the shade in the bottom rather than the top. This is the first time I've seen this in any smart shades or blinds. The blackout material works super well, and installing them took minutes. These shades run on 4 AAA batteries, and each one lasts for a long time. Right now I have them in my garage window over my workbench, and I really like them because I can have them automatically open to let some light in. The smart plug they sell is a super cheap Zigbee plug option, and the best part about it, in my opinion, is the fact that it's a Zigbee repeater. Not only that, but specifically for Aqara devices, which are known to not work well with many different repeaters. A few months ago, I was really struggling with a weak Zigbee network, so I threw some ThirdReality plugs as well as some other plugs around the house to make my network more robust, and it was a big help. This plug also has power monitoring capability, so it's going to send some AC frequency, voltage, and current data to your smart home hub. This next one is easily one of their most unique devices. It's actually a way to convert a dumb light switch into a smart one. It uses a moving mechanical piece to switch both rocker and toggle style switches. You just install it over your light switch and then connect it to your Zigbee hub, and there you go. There's a physical button on the outside so that you can still control the switch manually, but also you can do it remotely via your smart home hub. It is once again powered by 2 AAA batteries, so you should hopefully see decent battery life. Pretty interesting. Next, we have one of their newest products, and this is the Smart Color Nightlight. This one's matter-based and actually combines 3 things into one: a light sensor, a motion sensor, and of course, the RGB light. This thing is super handy for things as complicated as visual notifications in your smart home or as simple as a nightlight in your kid's room. Since this light uses Matter over Wi-Fi, it's going to work with most, if not all, of the major platforms. They actually made a Zigbee version as well, so that's definitely worth checking out. The best thing about this is seeing them move towards the Matter standard, which means connectivity for all different platforms, and it's moving the smart home industry forward. Speaking of Matter, this brings me to their next product, and that is the Zigbee to Matter bridge. This bridge is an excellent way to take all of their Zigbee devices and make them Matter compatible. It's supposed to work with non-ThirdReality Zigbee devices as well, but I can see this as being a pretty big challenge since companies like Aqara don't necessarily follow the Zigbee 3.0 standard. And if you look at Zigbee to MQTT, the Home Assistant add-on, that's a classic example of why you need open source community and lots of resources to enable you to get all different types of Zigbee devices connected to one system. Either way, I'm thrilled to see them making a hub that will handle at least their own Zigbee devices and make them Matter compatible. The last product I want to talk about from them is their smart speaker, which I've yet to try, but it's an Alexa voice speaker. But they actually talked about making it into a Home Assistant voice speaker, which would be super cool, and I hope to see them do that in the future. ThirdReality, if you guys are listening, keep that in mind. So you may be asking me, Aaron, why are you making a video about this company, and why are you doing this style of video? And the reason is because ThirdReality is one of the only companies that I've seen constantly putting local control of smart home devices first. I'm excited to see some of their future projects coming, including plant watering and garage door opening products. I hope you'll consider this company when you're buying smart home products because of their dedication to making products that work with all platforms and especially Home Assistant. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you think of this kind of video. Should I do more smart home company videos rather than just products or no? Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more smart home content. And as always, thanks for watching. See ya.